Version X open now, and I'd like to do a measurement session to a casting that I have here. And what I'd like to do first, though, is grab the CAD file that my client has given me, and I want to translate that so I can use it to measure and test this part to. Well, X has got a little bit different setup than 4.0. You actually have to translate this CAD file as it came to me in an IGS format. It needs to be changed to a Faro-specific file known as an FCM file. That's for the Faro CAD model. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go up to the File pull-down menu here. And then this right here, the Translate CAD Files. I'll click on that. And it pulls up this dialog box here for the Faro Translator. Now what I'd like to do is populate this or add a source file. So I'll just hit the Add icon here. And I've got the tenant directory ready. That's the client that I'd like to measure the parts for. And it's this first IGS file here that I'd like to translate into an FCM. So then what I'll do is say, open that file. So what it does is it puts that file, it populates it into the translator here, and it is ready for translation. That might take it a little bit of time. So after I hit the translate button, I'll do a little blink or fast forward ahead here in time so that we can just get right into showing you where that file ends up and what that file looks like. So hang tight, here it comes. Now that's a good sign. I've got a successful translation, so that's a good thing. I will close out of this, but I just wanted to say also, if there was more than one file that you needed to do analysis to, maybe a master model that had 4 or 5 parts in it forming an assembly, you can highlight all of those files and populate them into the translator and then translate all of them at the same time. So kind of like a batch processing thing, which would be great if you've got a bunch of files. That might take some time. So I'll just say close to that. And then what I'm going to show you is I want to pull that CAD model into my FCE file here. And I can do that a couple of different ways. I can go to this CAD parts window here on the side and add the file. Or underneath this file pull down menu, I can do an insert of CAD parts. So I'll highlight that here a second. And then what it does is it defaults to the CAM2 Measure X1 directory. Now the FCM is defaulting to going into this directory here. So if I scroll over just a little bit more, take a look here. Here is the file that I was going to be using to do my analysis for. And there it is. It gives me a little preview of what that IGS file looks like. Yep, and that's the file I want to measure to. So I will open that file. And then it pulls that wireframe and surface model into my FCE file. Pretty nice looking IGS file translation there. It looks like exactly the part I've got up on my table here in the lab. So let me do one thing here though. I just wanted to do a quick view, shaded, and take a look at the part. That's exactly what I want to see. So that looks like a great translation for me, and I'm going to get into the measurement session here. So go ahead and try this translation on your own as well. And just notice that the files, after they get translated, are going to end up right underneath your CAM2 Measure X1 directory. I'll take a quick show and tell on that one here as well in my Windows Explorer under the C:, Documents and Settings, All Users, Application Data, Faro, and then under your CAM2 Measure X1 directory, that is where the default is going to end up with your FCM file. So go ahead and try that translation on your own, and then we'll get into the measurement session a little bit later.